The last words my mother said to me was, "I'm dying, Aman. I'm dying." These were the words she told me when we went to Colorado. And my mother, she has like health issues and stuff. And so Colorado, bro, the altitude is so high that it is hard to breathe. And she already has breathing problems. And so we decided to take this tram up like the mountains and stuff. And at first, she was all right. She wasn't having any problems. But as we're getting higher and higher, I start noticing like she keeps dozing off. It's like, when like people take like Percocets and they start nodding off and stuff, that's exactly what it looked like. I didn't really understand what was going on. I thought she was just tired. But I knew something was wrong. Like as like we kept going up this mountain, I just kept seeing her doing it more frequently. Like she kept like dozing off, bro. It's like you would think that she's falling asleep and shit. When we finally got to the top, she told me that she's dying. And of course, there's me thinking like, no, what are you talking about? You're not dying. You're literally right here next to me. How can you be dying? But that's all she kept repeating. She kept saying, "I'm dying and I'm dying." And so the only thing I know what to do is to go ask for help. And so I bring the person who's like on board, like the medical staff or whatever. They come over, they try helping her, bro. Like they bring her like an oxygen mask, they give her like a nebulizer and shit, trying to like help her like breathe better, like open her lungs or whatever the fuck they did, bro. Like trying to help. It wasn't working. In my mind is just blank because I'm like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be thinking. What am I supposed to be thinking at a time like this, bro? Like when your mother's in your arms, like not like breathing properly and shit. Like she can't even open her eyes. She can't talk. She's just like barely breathing. Like what sort of thoughts are going to go through your head when you have that happen to you? And so eventually we took an ambulance. We took her out of the train. We took her into like this ambulance and I drove with her. And we just zoomed down the mountain, bro. Like, I don't know how fast we were driving. We were driving like 50, 60 miles an hour down a mountain, bro. This mountain's like curving like this. It's like the roads are turning like this and left and right and shit. And we're driving at 50 miles an hour. I don't know how we didn't like fly off the edge, but we drove down the mountain. And that's when she started to feel a little bit better. She started like gaining consciousness. She started to actually breathe a bit more. Her heart rate started getting a little bit more like stable. And about like half an hour later, she was like fine. We still had her like under like medical surveillance for like a little bit longer. But once like a couple hours goes by, like we finally are done. She's like cleared to like leave and everything. And we literally drive back home to Texas and shit. And we're like, bro, we're not coming back to Colorado. Like, Colorado's beautiful and all, but we're not coming back here if my mother has like this condition. And at that moment, I realized nobody is permanent. Nobody, like your mother's gonna die one day, your parents gonna die one day, your friends are going to leave you one day. Like nobody is permanent. And so you need to have like this mental toughness, knowing that not everything's going to last. You can enjoy the moment. Like I can enjoy the moment right now, like recording this video, but I can literally lose my phone tomorrow and I won't be able to record any videos for like until I get a new phone or something, bro. And so like you want to be enjoying the moments, you want to enjoy the people around you, but you need to also realize that nothing is permanent. You can literally lose everything in a blink of an eye. My mom is doing a lot better now, but she can still go to sleep and not wake up one night. And so if people aren't permanent, if people are temporary, you need to learn how to love being alone. And the only way you can do that is by having more self-love for yourself. Because when you have more self-love for yourself, like let's say you have some friends, right? Some people you call your friends, you don't want to really leave them, but at the same time, these are friends who pick on you, they bully you, they steal money from you, they call you trash every time you lose a game with them, and it's like they make you have trust issues and you're not able to develop new friendships until you're like 20 years old and shit. When you have these type of people, it's kind of hard to let them go because it's like you would much rather have shitty friends, fake ass friends, compared to having zero friends. But when you do that, you are disrespecting the fuck out of yourself. You have no self-love for yourself, no self-respect for yourself when you're hanging out with people who belittle you, when you know you're worth more than that. You wouldn't be doing that if you have self-love for yourself. If you have no self-love, you have nothing. You'll be a slave to your vices. You'll be a slave to other people's validations. If you have self-love, you will be content with just sitting on your bed doing nothing, and you will be at peace. But because you have no self-love, you cave into your addictions. You can't stand being alone, and so you smoke 3 blunts a day. You can't stand being alone, so you'll go get a drink once you get off of work. Because at least at work you have people around you, but once you get off, that's when the demons come back and you need to go fight them. You can't just suppress them with drugs, with money, with women. These people you call your friends, they're really not your friends, bro. The people you're smoking weed with, if you don't have any weed, you guys wouldn't even be hanging out. You know, because I made friends with all the stoners at university, bro. And as soon as I stopped smoking, as soon as I told them, hey, bro, I can't hang out anymore, I don't smoke anymore, none of them hit me back anymore. Same with like these people you play video games with. They're such low quality friends that only play with you because you play the same game. But the second you stop playing video games, second you don't play games anymore, and you tell them that, they're going to be like, bro, this dude's weird, who doesn't play video games anymore? And they're just going to move on with their day and go play with their other like video gamer friends. These people are not your friends, and so you need to have like higher standards. Truthfully, bro, you would be much better off alone rather than dealing with these fake ass friends. Your peace of mind is so much more valuable than a random person you just call a friend one day. And we call everybody our friends now because everybody is so lonely. Everybody is so desperate for social connection that we start calling people friends as soon as we meet them, bro. When it's like you barely even know this person. Imagine I go walk down the street right now and I see this girl and I tell her, do you want to marry me? Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? I just met this girl, but I'm telling her that I want to marry her and shit. It's like, it's kind of ridiculous, bro. But you're doing the same thing with the people you meet online and shit. Even in person, it's like you meet them and you want to be friends and you're all buddy and shit. But it's like you need to have higher standards for your friends. Let's say you can't make any friends right now. You have to spend time alone. Then in that case, bro, you got to realize that whatever you do, you would only start doing it because you actually want to. Like there's 2 types of motivations, right? There's intrinsic motivation and there's extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is basically the stuff that you're internally motivated to do rather than externally motivated. Like for example, let's say you love basketball, right? You've grown up watching people play basketball. You've went to like Staples and you've seen Kobe play basketball and shit, and like you've loved basketball since then. And so like you practice every day to be the best because it's like you really love the sport and you want to be better. That is internal motivation because that's coming from within, because you actually want to do it. And it's like it's part of like your mission in life, like a purpose layer of your life to become better at basketball. But when you compare that to external motivation, where you go and join the boys basketball team in college because you want the status, you want the clout that comes with it, you want to be a basketball player because you know basketball players at university get hit up by girls a lot more because these girls want to date athletes and shit. When you're doing stuff for external motivation, you will never be happy doing it, because you know that if you wouldn't get any clout from it, if you wouldn't get status from it, if none of it would really matter, then you wouldn't really do it. But when you're actually enjoying it and you're doing it because you feel like you want to do it, then you're gonna love it, bro. That's why you can do anything you want. When you're alone, you'll love it so much more. You'll have so much more peace of mind because you're doing the activities by yourself because you really enjoy it. You wouldn't do something if you don't enjoy it. I've gone to a couple of concerts, right? And all but one. There's one that I went with my cousin. Every single other concert I went by myself because I had no friends to go with me. Like I want to go to these concerts, but if I depended on like my friends to like agree and come with me, I wouldn't have gone to any of them because it's like, oh man, I have nobody to go with, and now it's like I'm kind of sad and shit, so I'm not gonna end up going. But truthfully, like if you want to go to that concert and you have nobody to go with, then just go anyways, bro. Like what's stopping you? Nobody knows that you're gonna be alone at the concert, bro. Like you can go by yourself in the floor seats, bro, just like in the mosh pit and shit. Nobody would care, nobody would know, it wouldn't really matter except for you, except for like your own like peace of mind, knowing that you wanted to go to this concert. Now that you're at this concert, you can actually enjoy it. And same with like going to the movie. People are so scared to go to the movies by themselves, thinking that, oh, you can't go to the movies by yourself because that's kind of sad, like that's depressing. Who goes to the movies by themselves? Like it's real retarded, bro. Like people think you have to be doing activities with other people. When you start doing activities that you love, you start realizing how peaceful life really is, and that we overcomplicate the hell out of it. And it's hard because, you know, in our tribal days, people who were outcasts did not survive, bro. Like you are jeopardizing your own survival if you left the tribe, because when the tribe's together, they're strong. But when you separate them and they're all individualized, these people are weak. And so we've kept that mentality, thinking that if we're alone, we're not going to survive. But that's really changed in the modern world. Like the modern world is not the same as it used to be thousands of years ago. Like you can be alone, you can spend time alone until you make better friends, until you have like social connections that are actually meaningful, that aren't like so one dimensional based on like a specific substance or video game and shit. Because these people that you build quality relationships with will be there when you need them. When you rock bottom, when you have nowhere else to go and you're losing your mind, these are the people who you can rely on, because they will be there for you when you need them the most. So, but until then, if you have to spend time by yourself, then do it. The only problem with that is that it does get addicting, bro. Like you will love spending time alone, bro. I enjoy Dallas so much, bro. Like if you asked me 5 years ago when I moved to Dallas, I would have told you I hate this place, bro, because first off, like the weather's whack. It's like it's 20 degrees during the winter and 110 during the summertime. Like it's hot as hell. Everything, like you need to drive to go anywhere. You can't just walk down the street. All the roads are big. All the people are weird. Like weed is illegal out here. And it's like I hated it, bro. But it's like now I really love it. My state's as big as a country, bro. Like in every part of it's part of me. But I only love it now because I've learned to deal with loneliness. Being locked up in my room during quarantine, leaving all my friends behind, leaving university, leaving all the friends I've made, all the memories that I could have made. I left everything behind and moved to Texas. And I love it, bro. But you don't want to stay stuck alone permanently. We're social creatures, bro. Like you don't want to be alone and outcast. Like it's fine to be alone. It's fine to spend time alone. But it really does mess you up if you have zero social connections. Like it really messes you up. It messes with your mental health. It messes with your physical health. And like all aspects of your life just go down the drain when you become like a lone wolf sigma and shit. And you're like, oh, you know, forget these females and shit. Forget men too, bro. Like I'm gonna go my own way and do my own thing. It doesn't work like that, because if it did, you would see a lot more people going their own way. You would see a lot more people being by themselves by choice. You know, a lot of people are alone because they have no choice, but it's different compared to being alone by choice. And that's how I learned to love being alone.